Podcast.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Oh, we're live, huh?
Yeah, we don't have to, we can stop talking about fantasy football now, I guess. We talk about professional wrestling. It's a professional wrestling show, right? Most of the time.
Sometimes it is, Johnny.
But we're not like making Brian Malonis from the wrestling podcast about nothing watch terrible movies about
terrible
wrestling.
Movies that he ended up liking.
He did like it. Yeah.
His kids liked it.
Yeah. Again, big thank you to Brian Malonis for the last episode for coming on.
Mike Crockett to start the last show was like, you worked him. You worked him.
Worked him. You worked him. Speaking of Mike Crockett, that fine gentleman left us a voicemail on our new hotline, which we will get into. We'll plug that in a little bit. We'll let you guys know what that is. But yeah, he left us a little voicemail telling us that we did get worked. So let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth. From old Croc Socks himself. What do you got for us, Mikey?
Johnny, BBH. This is Mike Crockett from the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing. And I want to congratulate you on the charity work you did last week. Having the Kingpin Brian Malonis on the Maine Event Podcast. Great episode as always, guys. But just want to let you know, if you didn't know already, you got worked. You got worked. Because there's no way in hell, there's absolutely no way that Brian Malonis enjoyed that movie. There's no way a movie about a dog wrestling, a pro wrestling pooch, there's absolutely no way that he enjoyed that. He worked us all, but I'm letting you know, I saw through it, and I want to let you guys know to make sure you know that he did not enjoy Russell Madness. There's absolutely no way. Monkey aside, there's no way it happened. And see, he did it. He got me upset. This is exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to. He frustrates me to no end. I really appreciate you guys having him on, plugging the podcast. Thank you very much. Love the Maine Event Podcast each and every week. You guys are doing a great job. I'm very frustrated, so I should really get off the phone. And thank you guys. Love the Maine Event Podcast. Hope to see you guys. Maybe I'll come up there to Maine sometime soon. All right, take care. Thanks. Bye.
I didn't love it, but you didn't hate it.
He didn't hate it.
So yeah. So again, thanks, Brian. And
jokes on us.
Jokes on us. Hey man. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little Mae Young Classic tonight. That happened this month in the wild world of WWE.
Glad we got all of our fantasy football talk out of the way.
Yeah. Right.
That's going so swell.
Oh my God! You and I actually faced each other this week, and
and thankfully your team pooped in its big boy pants.
Oh my God! Yeah, everybody on my team died. Like literally, quads were falling off legs, and
I picked all the wrong players, and somehow still managed to win with.
Yep.
Jimmy Graham giving me 1.1 points.
Yep. Well, my tight end broke his foot. Greg Olson
still scored more points than my tight end.
Yep. Fantasy football is so wacky. I don't get it. It's one of those love-hate relationships. I just love to hate it. It's terrible. Yep. Year after year, I come back for more pain. So one of these years, I'll call it quits and save myself. But anyway,
you won't.
I know I won't. You guys will drag me back into it. We've been playing this league for like 15 years. It feels like. That actually might be realistic.
Yeah, 10 anyway. I know I've been in it for a while now.
Yeah.
You guys were doing it years before I joined.
Yeah. God, I remember the old pen and paper days. That's terrible.
You do not.
The old pen and paper days. Yeah, I think the very first draft I ever did was actually was pen and paper. It was I believe it was. Yeah.
Tell me about the old days, Grandpa.
Hey, Sonny, get off my lawn. Oh, boy. Anyway, we're going to talk wrestling, right, at some point tonight?
Gray Bush.
Gray Bush. We're going to talk Mae Young Classic, because that was the thing that happened. What did you think of the Mae Young Classic, just off the top?
I liked it.
I did, too.
I liked it a lot.
I thought it was good.
I thought it introduced a lot of people to some new talent, and there was a ton of it.
There was a lot of ladies here that I had no idea who they were, and now I do, and I'm very thankful that I do know. I do know them now. So
there was a lot of people in the first round that I thought, like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like Jazzy Gabbert in the first round loses to Abby Lath. Jazzy Gabbert was great.
I loved her. One of my favorites of the whole tournament, even though I only saw that one match. But I loved her. I thought she was awesome. Hope she sticks around. Let's see. Before we really delve into the Mae Young Classic, though, because I want to talk a lot about it. Some somber news here. Bobby the Brain Heenan passed away just the other day. Big bummer. He wasn't well for a while now. A lot of issues with throat cancer, tongue cancer, like real shitty situation. The last, God, I don't know, 10 years, it feels like 10 years. Maybe,
anyway, I think.
Yeah. But passed away. Still kind of the cause of death hasn't been released yet, at least last time I checked. But obviously a legend. I know he was always a favorite of mine growing up, just managing every bad guy that I can even think of, in the Heenan family. It seems like every heel was like in the Heenan family, like in the late 80s.
You had to be, I think.
You had to be, right? Yeah. He was just the man. I thought he was awesome. He was so quick-witted. What about you, man? Big Bobby Heenan fan back in the day?
Yeah, I used to love watching him. He did like the in-between cartoon promotions, promos with Hulk Hogan or with Mean Gene on Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling.
Yeah.
Some of those are great. Like he'd be like lifting weights and stuff, and it'd be like like 5-pounders on each side. He'd be dying,
Yeah.
And just his commentary, he was so quick-witted, and his jokes were just unbelievably sharp. It was like, oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, just so funny, like so funny. I think a lot of people remember him for being a great manager, but like when he went on to commentary, it was just as good, I thought. And then when he left WWE and he went to WCW, I think that was like a really underrated.
The only guy worth listening to on WCW.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny that WWE. I don't know the situation of why he left to go to WCW. I'm sure it was a money thing, but and I'm just assuming as an outsider looking in that it was probably a money thing and that they didn't want to pay him the money to stick around. But what a gem on commentary. Just so funny, and he added so much to a match. And WCW had so many matches of like mid to like low tier guys that like Nitro was like 3 hours long, and a lot of those matches really didn't mean anything. But you had a guy like Bobby Heenan on commentary, and it made it so entertaining. I just remember that, like going like, man, like this.
He would make fun of the guys that you were making fun of at home, but he was like saying what you wanted to, what you wanted to.
Yeah. So yeah, he was fantastic. And then I know, even like, even even after his throat cancer and stuff, and his surgery and stuff on his face, he's still out there like on the indie scene, like doing conventions and stuff, and just being like such a hoot. And even when it was like hard for him to speak and communicate, he was still like such an attraction, and getting a huge reaction from fans out there and signing autographs and everything. He was just such a cool guy, and there'll definitely never be one like him. I think he is like the best of the best, and everybody always wants to talk like the Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. If there was a Mount Rushmore of managers, I think that he's
commentators.
Or commentators, yeah. I think
probably the best heel commentator ever.
Mm-hmm.
Not too mean and like not dark at all, but just biting and quick, and just said whatever silly thing came to his mind, really. But they all made perfect sense when he said it.
Oh yeah. Just fantastic. And I feel too, as like a manager, he had so much to work with, especially like the guys like in the 80s who were just very one-dimensional, that were guys that like you couldn't speak very well. Guys like Haku, guys like the Barbarian and the Warlord, like all these guys that were just, even Andre, later on, in his career, he always had Heenan by his side. So it was just a perfect fit for a ton of those guys. And like I said, man, there'll never be a guy just like him. So he was the best. So yeah, man, too bad to lose him.
Remember him riding down in WrestleMania on the camel?
yeah. Yep. Classic. So good, man. So many funny, like memorable moments like that. Like, and then just on top of like his just constant like wit,
just tearing down of the baby faces. Just baby faces are so dumb.
Yeah. Yep. So good. But let's see. Before we dive into the Mae Young Classic, let's hit up some really quick plugs here. Listeners at home, you guys can find us on Podbean and on iTunes. We have a hotline now. If you guys want to give us a little jingle or
hotline,
hotline time, leave us a message. Tell us what you think of the show. We'll play it on the air if you'd like. And that number is 929-260-3099. Tell us what you think. Ask us a question. We'll answer it on the air. That'd be fun, right? Something to do. That'd be cool.
Call us up before Friday. Tell us who you're pulling for in the 6-man scramble at the Limitless event.
Ooh, yeah.
Tell us if you're going to go to the Pro Wrestling Takeover show in Gorham.
Yeah, let us know. We want to hear from you guys. Harmon, what's the deal with Teespring? We got anything on Teespring?
Yeah, we got shirts.
We got shirts, baby. We got shirts.
Shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops.
Yeah.
You name it, we got it. Got our name plastered all over it.
There you go.
I should probably design some different stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Out down the road. Yeah, eventually. So, but yeah, we still got the t-shirts up there with our
mostly just of my face.
yeah, that's the new design, just your face. That'd be great.
I'm gonna see if I can find some of those fanny packs.
That'd be great, man. Let's rock those. Let's rock those fanny packs. Let's be a fanny pack ambassador. That'd be great. I love that product. It's fantastic. Looks great.
I mean, I get a camera. I can take a picture of my gut and put it on something, I guess.
Oh my God. A real Harmon gut fanny pack. Oh, that would sell.
It would hold so much.
It's true.
It wouldn't be a fanny pack so much as like a front trunk.
Yeah. Yes. A front pouch. Yeah.
Put a hornswoggle in it.
You could. That's gonna be his new entrance. He's just gonna like pop out.
Pops out of my pouch.
Yeah, pops out of your pouch at the next Limitless show. Just boom. That's a hell of an entrance. If anybody wants to take him up
that,
on that.
Top shelf Troy Nelson.
Oh man. Let's see what else. So we got Strong Style Brand. Go to strongstylebrand.com/main event pod. That's a direct link to some awesome merch from Strong Style Brand. You guys can use code Main Event Pod at checkout. You're going to get yourself 10% off, and they've got some dynamite stuff there: t-shirts, hoodies, shoes, hats.
If you're a lady and you bought the leggings, go ahead and send us a picture. We have that hotline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We can take text messages, pictures,
Yeah, definitely feel free to do that. Those leggings are great, man. They look awesome.
Not with you in them.
Not me, obviously. Come on. Why is that on your brain? Come on,
I
man.
don't know.
You're so weird. Yeah, so strongstylebrand.com/main event pod. Go to that link first. It's very important. That's your entryway into our discount, and we get a little cut of that too, which is very nice. It's a great way to support the podcast. And speaking of supporting the podcast, I just set up a little support the podcast kind of thing on through Podbean, where we host the podcast. If you want to become a patron of ours and you listen on Podbean, there's a little button that says become a patron, and just click on that. And there's some cool little rewards on there. Like we'll give you some shout outs and all for a price, all for $1 or something. So
yeah, Back Row Mafia. I'm waiting for my check.
Yeah, that check. Yeah, that should add up there. We drop those guys' names all the time.
Those guys will be rocking a brand new Strong Style flag, I believe.
I saw that. It looks so pretty. I love it. So yeah, big shout out to the Back Row Mafia. They were on the podcast a couple episodes back, and I cannot wait to see them this weekend at Question the Answers. I can't wait to see a lot of people at Question the Answers. Not even just the amazing card, but I just can't wait to see my wrestling buddies. Molly and Dave, Doug. Can't wait to see everybody. Jacob. It's fun, man. Jacob's going to be there. God, who else? Just tons of people. Of course, the Inked Geek Studio boys are going to be there. Nate and Brandon, they've come to just completely fall in love with Limitless. Megan Nielsen's going to be there from the Hard Times podcast. I'm assuming she's going to be there. I hope she is. She's always fun to catch up with. She's one of my favorite people in this crazy wrestling podcast biz that we find ourselves in. Jamie Shaw is going to be there in the crowd, the local sign guy. He makes some badass signs for a number of wrestlers, and word on the street is he's got one for us. So that's going to be pretty wild. Looking forward to seeing that. And then, of course, our besties, the boys that sit with us, Boosh and Gregulator and Dusty and Ryan. Definitely looking forward to catching up with those guys. Don't see them often enough anymore. So Limitless is a good way to do that. So definitely looking forward to it. Man, I love that. I love that place, man. And but speaking of the card,
Tia, Randy's mom.
Yeah, Tia's gonna be there. Randy's mom. That's weird that you mentioned Randy's mom, but that's cool.
We're tight.
Yeah. Question the answers looks dynamite. We really broke it down, I think, last episode, and then next episode, we're gonna really kind of review it. Review the shows that we go to this weekend, because this weekend's going to be dynamite packed. We got question the answers, and we've got Pro Wrestling Takeover as well. But question the answers, I mean, it's a crazy card. It's main evented by Ace Romero versus All Good Anthony Green, and then you got former WWE World Champ Jack Swagger on the card. And did you see the announcement today?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yep, bringing along Catalina Swagger, the old wifey's coming along. Fucking Catalina wine mixer. Yeah, right. Jack Swagger's going to be taking on AR Fox. And then the rest of the card is just the who's who of indie wrestling. Joey Ryan, JT Dunn, Teddy Hart, Cam Zagami, Tyler Nitro, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Mainstay Posse, Skyler, Willow Nightingale, Josh Briggs.
I mean, this show is so big that some of your favorites couldn't be on the card. That's how big this card is.
Right, like Brian Malonis, like last week. He said, that's bullshit that I'm not on that card. Bullshit. And we agree.
Like Mike Grassa. He didn't get voted in.
I know. It's crazy.
Jeremy Leary.
I think he's been on every single Limitless show I've ever been to. And now this is the first that both of those guys are not going to be there.
Who else? Brandon Xavier Bell. Not
crazy, right?
Yeah.
This is the first one I've ever seen without him. Nuts. So
who's going to do the 50-50?
It's going to have to be you. It's going to be you, man. It has to be you. Right?
That Turtle Man last time.
I don't know. Anyway, so it's this Friday, which this podcast will air this Friday. So it's tonight,
listen
guys.
Listen to this podcast on your way to the event.
Yeah, so it's 9/22. It's at the Westbrook Armory. And like I said, it's going to be a fucking crazy card.
And it's Friday, and you're listening to this, and we'll be standing out in line, waiting to go in, just like you. Come on over to us. Give us your predictions. We're going to have our recorders going. Same thing during intermission and after the show. We want to hear what you thought of the entire show. We want to hear what you thought about, what was the best match, who stole the show, who looks like they're going to be walking funny the next day. We want to hear it all.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be out in full force. It's going to be great. And then 2 days after that, Pro Wrestling Takeover. So at September 24th, 3 p.m. at Spire 29 at it's 29 School Street in Gorham, Maine. Pro Wrestling Takeover. It's their debut show. They got Fox Vineyard versus Mike Orlando in the main event for the Pro Wrestling Takeover Championship, which I guess, I don't know if that was like hush hush or what, but we kind of announced that last week. And then that got announced on Facebook. He was like, due to certain podcasts reporting this, this is the deal. So I hope we didn't ruin any plans, but that was the deal. I thought that.
No, it was out on Facebook before that. They had pictures of it.
Yeah, they had pictures of the belt, but I don't think the actual match was announced for the belt. But I mean, come on, guys, put 2 and 2 together. You know what was going to happen. But that's going to be a crazy match. I like both of those guys. Fox Vineyard I've seen more of than Mike Orlando. Vineyard, wrestles for Ring of Honor, and he's great, man. He's really, really good. He's slick. He's a big dude. He's really slick in the ring.
Yeah, he's an interesting character also.
Oh yeah, he's super weird. But like in an awesome way. Other guys on the card, Da Hood's gonna be there. Era of Violence, Adam Booker, Remy Blackheart, Devin Blaze, Ali Rex, Kid Christian, Terrell Kenneth, the Sea Stars, Flash Nick McKenna. I mean, again, this is gonna be a stack show as well. It's gonna be really fun to see how they put this thing together.
Yeah, our favorites, the Sea Stars.
Love the Sea
Ali
Stars.
Rex, I'm interested to see her.
Yeah.
Adam Booker, haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, and Flash Nick McKenna, former guest of the podcast, he's going to be there. It's going to be cool to see him and see him take on Terrell Kenneth. It's a big dude, man. Holy cow. So it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a fun weekend of awesome wrestling, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hanging out with fans, hanging out with wrestlers, and seeing some badass wrestling all around. So very, very cool. Let's dive into some Mae Young Classic, Harmon. Mae Young Classic. I thoroughly enjoyed this tournament. I started it a little bit late. I didn't start it like on time, but I like really took off. Once I started it, I was watching exclusively women wrestle for like a week straight. Like it was great. I wasn't like watching SmackDown or Raw. I was just turning on the network and watching the next episode of the Mae Young Classic. I was that into it. Like I said, there was a lot of women in this tournament that I had no idea who they were. You know, they either wrestle at like, you know, some indie organization that I don't know of, or they wrestle overseas, and I don't know. Like I learned a lot in this tournament. I got a lot of new favorites.
I learned that they taped this on July 13th and 14th, the first 4 rounds, and then they had to wait until September 12th, to do the finals.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Well, it's funny that like you'd see like Ronda Rousey like in the stands, and she's wearing like the same outfit like every time they shoot to her. It's like, oh, it's 3 episodes later. All right.
Hey, Scuzzy, go change your shirt.
Funny. Yeah, come on. But she played a big part in it, and I think, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that. Nothing against Shayna Baszler, but it's like that was kind of her tickets, to the finals. Was we got to keep Shayna Baszler around this whole time to kind of keep Ronda Rousey on TV, which
I kind of hope that gives Shayna Baszler a chip on her shoulder to know that
I hope so too.
That they really didn't want her. They want Ronda Rousey, And,
yeah, and again, nothing against Baszler. I thought she was.
No, I thought she did very good.
Tournament. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like totally into her. I think that she's still like really green. And I don't think that she deserved to make it to the finals, if I can say that. But it's just.
No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were girls that lost in the first round that I thought,
Oh yeah, let's talk about. Okay, yeah, let's start there. Let's talk about some first round. Some first round busts here. You have some, like you mentioned Jazzy Gabbert earlier.
Right, Jazzy Gabbert. How about Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah. Like before this whole thing started, I was like Tessa Blanchard. I was like, boom, she's in the finals. She has to be.
Santana Garrett.
She's so good. I know Santana Garrett. I think WWE hates Santana Garrett. I don't know why. She's been on NXT a couple times just to like job to like, whoever. But
that Brazilian girl, Tinara Conti, they talked her up, and then she didn't make it out of the first round.
Nah, they fed her to Lacey Evans, who they're
awesome. I love.
She's great, Evans. Dude. She's great. Her whole thing is awesome. Like, they're really behind her. I think she's gonna be huge in a couple of years. Like, they're really pushing her in NXT. She's
Tony
good.
Storm. How much charisma can one person have?
Tony Storm's awesome. So good. Very, very cool. Cool look. Very great in the ring. Just very cool. Some people that really disappointed me in the first round was Rachel Evers. Actually disappointed me in this tournament. I don't know. I feel like I've seen her a few times before.
She seemed really green, I think.
Really green, which surprised me, being what's his name? I'm drawing a blank.
Paul Ellering's daughter.
Paul Ellering's daughter. Yeah. She seemed really green for being Paul Ellering's daughter. I thought that she would be like way just more trained, I guess. I don't know, but like her first round matchup with Marty Bell was really awkward, and I think Marty Bell is not very good in the ring either. Like as a wrestler, I think her charisma is awesome, and I think that if she just kind of like tightens up her in-ring work a little bit, like she could be a big star. But I thought like her moveset was a little weak, and it was a little awkward and a little like just hesitant. But like I think her attitude is awesome. Like Marty Bell, I thought was really, she has a great look, really cool, just like jawing, like, you know, at her opponent. I thought it was cool, but you know, it's got to come together in the moves. And I think
what about like Kaylee Ray? She was in every single promotion package. She was the one selling everybody's moves.
Yeah.
And she had to sell to Princess Suhei.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, who I mean, Suhei was another one that I didn't really know much about, and then I was floored at like her performance. I was like, "Whoa, this chick's awesome!" Very cool. I think for me, Mercedes Martinez like stole the tournament for me. I thought she was hands down my favorite of this tournament. I thought she has a cool, like, just a nasty look. Like she just looks mean. And she can fucking wrestle. She's been doing it for like 17 years. And she went really far in this tournament, right to the final four, losing to Baszler, who is actually her protege, which I thought was a nice story that they kind of worked in there.
It's a good storyline. Yeah.
It was really cool. And I liked her, man. I thought Mercedes Martinez was unbelievable. I thought she was like, just really good in everything. Like she can wrestle on the mat, she can do submissions, she can strike. Like some of those strikes between her and Baszler were nuts. Like she was laying
they look like legit punches at times.
She was laying it into Baszler. So she was great. And then of course, like the girls that, you know, like I knew like kind of going into it, like the Candice LeRae, you know, we all know from the indies, you know, Abby Lath, you know, we know, Mia Yim, you know, from like TNA, as Jade. You know, these are all the girls that like, I'm like, okay, like they should do well, and for the most part they did. You know, Mia Yim like ran into Baszler.
How scary was that? Was the Indian lady there, Kavita Devi? She was scary big.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, she had huge guns on her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she wasn't afraid to just flex them out every time she did something.
No, but she got taken down by Dakota Kai though. Dakota Kai, adorable.
She seemed like way too small to me though. Like I was like, man, she is tiny.
Yeah, she is tiny. Yeah. Speaking of tiny though, Kairi Sane, winner,
super
tiny. I knew that they were kind of like all in on her, like from the get-go.
Yeah.
I assumed that she was going to win it. Just because like the promo packages and everything that they were saying about her, they were all in on Kairi Sane. And for right reasons, man. She's got like the charisma, you know, through the roof. Like her whole image, her whole gimmick is like really cool and fun. But I don't know. The only problem I see is that she's just really small, you know, which I was a little worried going into the finals with Baszler, because I was like, man, how are they going to really like sell this? You know, to be realistic.
A couple of times she did the elbow off the top rope, but I'm like, she missed that.
Oh my God, yeah. When she took on who was it?
Dakota Kai or Toni Storm? She just, I don't know, it was Bianca Belair. She landed like
Bianca Belair
flat on her. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Oh my God. How about Bianca Belair though? Belair. I was super impressed with her. She's ripped, like big. The whole hair thing is cool. At one point, I'm pretty sure she did like a 450 splash. Like she's nuts. Like she's crazy good for a girl who has not been doing this for very long. She's just like a super natural athlete and has picked this up really fast. And I can't wait to see what she does in NXT, because she's phenomenal. But yeah, man, I was impressed by a lot of these ladies.
I was really impressed with Piper Niven.
Yes, love Piper Niven.
I loved her like face work, you know, when she sold and when she was on top, and her moveset was really good for a girl that you didn't expect her to move that well, and she really did. She was a definite athlete in that ring, and I loved her. I thought I wanted her to go right to the end, but she lost to Toni Storm.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too. I didn't know of Piper Niven.
I didn't either.
This.
But when after she beat Santana Garrett, I'm like, no, something with this girl. I like it. I like her a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, I love that she's like a bigger gal, but she can like move. Like she's got crazy like athleticism. And she's got a good look too. You know, I like that
she's adorable.
She's super cute. You know, the accent is awesome. She's just great, man. I hope she sticks around. Like, I don't know who they've signed or who they haven't signed. I think Baszler they have signed. And Sane, I'm assuming, because she's the winner, and then they said that she's going to challenge for like the vacant title that Asuka left behind. But as far as other ladies here that are signed, but you know, besides the girls that are already in NXT, like I don't know who they've signed or who they haven't.
They did not sign Toni Storm. She's signed to World Wonder Ring Stardom. She's the reigning SWA champion, Progress Wrestling Women's champion.
Yeah.
So she's not going to be back.
Yeah.
I really hope Rhea Ripley comes back. God.
Yeah, I remember you texting me about her. Like, hey, what's going on with this chick? Like
she's like Charlotte. Like she looks like Charlotte tall.
Yeah.
Ripped as all hell. She was really good in the ring too. You know, she had kind of like an edge to her, kind of like a little Becky Lynch, but a little tougher, I think.
Yeah. I thought her match with Dakota Kai was awesome. I thought that was one of the matches that really stood out in this tournament, that I didn't know which way it was going to go, and it was just a really, really good match.
Dakota Kai seemed more like a Japanese superhero to me than Kairi Sane.
Yeah, I think that's her thing, is like that it's her whole gimmick's like an anime kind of a thing. Which I can dig it. Like, I'm not like the biggest anime guy, but like I dig it. I think she's like really cute, and she can do some really cool moves. I thought her and Kairi Sane really, really put on a good match. Like that was a great match. I assumed that Kairi was gonna take it, but I thought it was a really hard fought match from Dakota Kai. How about Serena Deeb making the comeback here? I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was a good story.
Yeah, I liked it. Super skinny now though.
Yeah, like she's in like top notch shape. Like holy shit. That stood out alone. Like I was just like, man, she is super fit right now. She was great. I think she was awesome. She beats Vanessa Bourne in the first round, and then a really hard fought match against Piper Niven. I didn't know which way they were going to go with that. I didn't know if they were going to ride out the Serena Deeb comeback story, or if they were going to, hand it over to Piper. And Piper got the nod there, but man,
I really liked Sarah Logan too, though.
Yeah, and she's
crazy Mary Dobson.
Yeah, and she's signed, right, in NXT. Is that her deal? She's, or no?
I'm not sure.
I thought she is.
Yeah,
but,
she is.
Yeah, she was good. She got a tough matchup with Mia Yim in the first round, though, who I've kind of always liked in TNA. But I thought that was a good match.
I think the Mia Yim Shayna Baszler match, like Shayna Baszler needs to watch like how Mia Yim sold her kicks and stuff. Because she made it seem like she was getting her leg broken every time she got kicked, and Shayna Baszler I think needs to look at that and take use this whole thing as like a big learning experience and take away from that. I mean, everybody else, Candice LeRae was so good.
She's so good, man, and so cute, and so she's great, man. The whole thing with her and Baszler too, I thought was interesting. Baszler was like holding onto the choke after the bell, and Gargano's out at ringside like yelling to like stop it and stuff. It was cool, man. This tournament had way more like storytelling that I thought that the Cruiserweight Classic had. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot more like thought out like matches, like, okay, this person's gonna win, so then they're gonna face this person like in the 2 rounds later, and we're gonna work this mini storyline into it. I thought there was a lot more of that than there was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I love it, man. I'm a sucker for storylines. Baszler, one more thing about Baszler's kicks is that for being like a mixed martial artist, she throws good kicks, but like she does a lot of like half kind of like there's like really weak kicks that don't do anything, like these little like she just throws out these little kicks and there's no purpose to them. There's no story to be told with them. I'm like, okay, well, that's just weird. Like if you're gonna throw a kick, like don't pussyfoot around here. It didn't make any sense a lot of times. It just seemed lazy to me that she was doing things that, maybe she just doesn't know yet. Maybe she's just because she's so green, but it just seemed like that was a perfect example that you said with the Mia Yim thing. It's like throw that kick, like throw a kick, and have it mean something. So I don't know. That was really my only thing against Baszler that I thought was like necessarily like her fault. Everything else that I was just like, okay, well, she doesn't really know how to sell yet. Like she's not great at selling, and she just turns like everything into that rear naked choke, which I was like, okay, I get it, but it's such a long transition from like a standing suplex to a rear naked choke. You know what I mean? Seems like such a weird transition to me. So
yeah, and like the Candice LeRae match, she just like caught her and then put it on.
Yeah. I just feel like everybody would do that if it was really that easy. I don't know. I like submission.
I like how they like Mercedes Martinez. They played up her shoulder injury throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah.
I mean that's storytelling on a level that WWE hasn't seen in decades.
Yeah. I love like submission wrestling, and I like when people incorporate like MMA moves to an extent like into pro wrestling. But I think that there's a line that always has to be drawn because a lot of times people don't make it believable. And I know I'll probably get like chastised for saying like bringing up Zack Sabre Jr., but I think during the tournament, the Cruiserweight Classic, there's a lot of submissions that he did that were very much like the opponent just kind of like lets him do it. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't seem very realistic. Like especially like his small joint manipulation stuff. Like he's just going to bend your hand back, and it's like the other guy's not doing anything with their other hand. It's like you could easily stop this if you wanted to, but it just seems very strange. And I love Zack Sabre Jr. I think he's a fine wrestler and all. But it just submission wrestling like that to that extent, I think is overkill. I like the way like Daniel Bryan does it, where it's a little bit more, or did it, sorry, where it's a little bit more transitional, a little bit more ruthless, a little bit more realistic, and it's not as like dramatic, it's just, he's going to get you in a crossface out of nowhere, not so much like take his slow ass time to move your arm into a Kimura, and make it so dramatic. Like it's not necessarily how submissions are done. So,
right.
But anyway, but I mean, I think Baszler did a fine job in the tournament with her submission stuff. It was just like a little too much rear naked choke from like really weird positions, like a suplex. I was like, okay, well, that seems like a really, really strange transition. But
yeah,
what did you?
I was just looking at some of the rest of the wrestlers here, like Nicole Savoy. I really liked her.
Yep, she was good. Yeah,
they were all pretty good, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell like the first rounders that were a little green, like we mentioned, the Marty Bells, the Rachel Evers. You know who I love? I love Abby Lath. I think she's so good, like just so good. I really like her moveset. I really like that she's so fluid in the ring.
Yeah, she's got that ballerina background.
Yeah, and it's just cool. I like how she like rages up. You know what I mean? Like, especially against like Jazzy Gabert, who's like this big powerhouse of a woman. She's screaming, and then like Abby Lath just screams right back at her. Like, I love it. I thought it was super intense, and she's so marketable, I think. And she's not bad on the eyes either. So I thought she was great in this tournament. I was actually really surprised that she didn't make it to the Final Four. I was surprised that they had Martinez go over her. But yeah, man, I don't know. The whole tournament I thought was really well done. The finals I thought was cool. I thought Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler I thought was a good matchup. Size, versus kind of skill. Ground game versus aerial assault. Kairi Sane took a beating in this match. But I like that they sold the ribs on Baszler. You know what I mean? I thought that was like a good storytelling there, where she like we're selling, really favoring the ribs, and then that led to her taking the elbow from the top. And how beautiful is that elbow?
Just not a care in the world. Just throw her legs up there. I mean, she jumps and immediately just starts like driving the elbow down. Her legs are above her head when she lands.
Yeah.
I don't know how long she can do that before her spine snaps, but
I know. She's going to chiropractor like every day. But I mean, she definitely is like leading like with the elbow, where you see a lot of guys do it.
It just must be that she only weighs 105 pounds, that it doesn't hurt that much, but still it's 105 pounds coming down on a point.
Yeah. Do you remember how shitty CM Punk's elbow was? Like from the top rope?
God, have you ever said anything good about him? Oh, no. Man, how shitty his kicks were, how shitty his elbow was. I'm the same way.
I know.
How shitty his MMA debut was.
I know. I shit on CM Punk a lot, but I just remember those horrible elbows from the top.
You have picked that poor guy's wrestling career apart. How he rode on the floorboards of that old gangster car when he was pretending to be one of John Cena's.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Phil. Sorry, buddy.
He doesn't like you to be called Phil. I mean, you know him as CM Punk. You call him CM Punk, okay?
I know.
You don't use his Christian name.
Oh yeah. No, but I think her elbow is awesome. She doesn't play it safe. A lot of dudes, jump and they kind of land on their hip or something, and then it's like a nice soft blow with the elbow. But she just goes for it, man. And I wonder how these girls feel. Like, I wonder how Bianca Belair felt like when she just like she landed like
she was a champ though. She took it like an ass to the chest.
Yeah, her whole body just took it like, so good. Is there anybody that we're missing here? Like that I think we've talked about just pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I guess so.
Out of these gals who, sorry, what's up?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, out of these gals, who do you think are like must signs for WWE? Like if you're Triple H and you see this tournament go down, and you go, okay, I gotta sign this girl and this girl and this girl. Who do you think?
If I'm serious about starting a women's division, and maybe having enough women to start their own like 205 live style show, I'm signing Nicole Savoy, Candice LeRae, Mae Young, Dakota Kai, Rhea Ripley, pretty much everybody from the second round.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
Lacey Evans trying to get Toni Storm.
Well, Lacey Evans is in NXT. She's already there.
Right.
Yeah.
Serena Deeb, I think she could work out.
Yeah, I think she comes in as like the veteran in the locker room for sure.
we didn't really get to see her wrestle too much. That Tainara Conti from Brazil.
Yep.
What was it? Sarah Logan, Crazy Mary Dobson. She's there. So I don't know. There's a lot of people that you could build a really nice show around,
Absolutely. For me, some standouts, some gals that I would obviously sign. Obviously, Kairi Sane and Baszler. You sign those two immediately at the top. I say Piper Niven. You sign. Serena Deeb. You bring in, like I said, as the veteran in the locker room. Rhea Ripley for all the reasons that you mentioned earlier.
Jazzy Gabbert.
Oh, I think you bring in Jazzy Gabbert in a heartbeat. She plays your monster heel on your roster.
I can see her and Natalia teaming up right now.
Yeah.
You get enough women and you could have a secondary women's title,
Oh, absolutely. Or a tag title or something. I mean, I think you bring in Abby Lath. I think Suhi is a must. And this is just fantasy kind of stuff, not knowing what.
Princess Suhi just lost her mask. She was unmasked at
oh, really?
CMML right? Is it?
Oh, no shit. Yeah. Again, I'm saying, this is just stuff that not knowing what these gals have going on and what contracts they have with other promotions and blah 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 blah. If this was just a blank slate, I would bring in again Mia Yim. Candice LeRae is already signed with NXT, I'm assuming, right? She's already in there, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, if not, sign her. I thought she already was. Mercedes Martinez, obviously, bring her in. Again, another veteran presence around the locker room. Can teach these gals a lot.
I think they signed that Xia Li, who lost.
Oh, God, what was to Martinez? Yeah. What was that really her first match? That's fucking insane.
I don't know. She did pretty good, I thought, for the first part of that match. She did really good, and I thought she was she had a good look to her. She had solid looking legs. She was kicking pretty good.
Yeah, her kicks were solid, man. I can't believe that was her first match. That's insane. That sounds like a real that sounds like a Brazzers thing. You know what I mean? Oh, is this really your first time? Kind of a thing. That's bullshit.
What's Brazzers?
You fuck. Shut up. I would be very surprised if that was her first match. But they that's what they wanted to say. So sure. I thought she did very well. Yeah.
That and was it Zeta? She was also representing China. She was her whole thing was that she wanted to be a superhero kind of thing.
Yeah. But she got beat down.
She got Baszler.
20 super quick, right? 20 seconds or something. It was super fast.
Yeah, it was a really, really quick match.
Yeah, I love that she was I have an MMA background. I was like, oh, do you? Do you? Because Shayna Baszler is about to destroy you.
Yeah, well, Shayna Baszler's got 16 years in MMA.
Right. So, and that's pretty cool. Then afterwards, after the tournament and stuff, or actually during the tournament, I think, they did a little 4 horsemen, face-to-face with the WWE 4 horsemen. Yeah, which is pretty cool. I mean, it seems like they're trying to build that up. I don't know if there's going to be some payoff to it. I hope that there is. Obviously, on the WWE side, you get...
yeah, because one of them is dating Drew Gulak or something too. So...
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's funny. That guy's awesome. I love Drew Gulak. He's great. It's it'll be cool to see where they go with this. The 4 horsewomen thing. It's very
how they incorporate them in. If they're going to be in NXT, how they incorporate them into the division. Because it would be very, all of a sudden you have an influx of all these bodies into your division. Now what are you going to do? You're going to have to put them on TV. I mean,
well, I think the 4 horsewomen thing has to be on.
Raw.
I think that's got to be on the main roster. Well, the only problem is that you've got You got
half on Raw, half on SmackDown.
Yeah, exactly. They're mixed up. So you got like Charlotte and Becky Lynch on SmackDown.
Yeah, but you figure out one of the big four, they all come together.
That's true, and that's probably what they're doing. They're probably going to do like a Mania thing. But man, that seems like so far away. To
it really isn't.
No. Yeah. Survivor Series. Survivor Series sounds
coming up too. Yeah.
Survivor Series sounds way more. Like
you've also got the Royal Rumble before then too. So.
Yeah, but I mean, Survivor Series just makes sense. 4-on-4 kind of a thing.
Right.
They could do, and then you could probably do like a.
I just don't know how much training that the MMA 4-horsewoman would need.
I know, and that's the thing. It's such a big commitment for them to like totally train in pro wrestling. It doesn't seem like it's something that's going to actually come to fruition. It's just going to be kind of a thing.
You think Ronda Rousey's getting back in the MMA octagon after she got knocked out twice in a row?
I think that she would not want to do that. I don't think it's a smart move. I think that she should probably retire from MMA, and I think that she should definitely sign with WWE. I think it's a smart move for her. I know that she's got like all kinds of other shit going on that she probably gets paid a ton of money for, but she's such a fan that's like, why wouldn't you want to do this?
Right. I mean, hey, John Cena still does movies. I mean,
right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it would be a really cool attraction. It's something that I definitely want to see, but they got to do it right. I can't imagine them just like going and throwing these gals in and be like, oh, well, they're MMA fighters. They can obviously do this, but they, it would look really weird. I think that they're going to probably build it to more of like a spot than a match. It'll probably be like just a spot at, at Survivor Series or at WrestleMania or something where it's just like an encounter instead of like an actual match. So, which would still be pretty cool if they do it well. But I don't know. I got to give it some more thought about how I would have that go down. But I don't know. It'd be pretty neat to see. But I don't know, man. Any more thoughts on the Mae Young Classic? I'm pretty much tapped out here.
Yeah, I am too. I loved it. It was something different.
Yeah, I love that they're doing tournaments, man. I love these tournaments that they have. I thought the Cruiserweight Classic was awesome. This tournament was great. They've been doing tournaments all like left and right. I think it's cool. They should do like a big tag tournament or something. You know what I always thought that would be really fun to do would be like to do like a world, like a world, what's it called? Like a world thing, like a world classic or something, and have guys from compete like in tag teams, or like a trios thing, but like from like the same country or whatever. Like have like an Irish team, like a British team, an American team, like all kinds of cool stuff.
I get you.
Yeah. I think TNA used to do that a lot. WWE should think about doing something like that, like in doing like a network exclusive of it, because these tournaments I think are a big hit. They got to be, because it's such good programming for the network. So it'd be really cool to see something like that. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do next. But cool, man. That's it. Let's wrap up. Let's get out of here. Harmon, where are you at on the old social media?
Right now, looking at pictures of Mandy Leon. Oh wait.
What are you doing on the internet right now?
Twitter at Harmon316.
Nice. There you go. I'm at Johnny Fashion on Twitter. The show's Twitter is at Maine Event Pod. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Maine Event Pod. Also on Instagram at Maine Event Pod. I'm sure that we'll be posting a ton after this coming weekend from both shows. Limitless Wrestling Question the Answers and the Pro Wrestling Takeover show. There'll be tons of pictures and videos on the old Instagram and also our personal accounts. So
tons.
Let's see. We're on Podbean and iTunes. And once again, strongstylebrand.com/main event pod. Go there, get your Strong Style swag on. It's some really cool gear, t-shirts, hats, shoes, hoodies, banners. Be like the Backroom Mafia, get a banner. Very cool. Hey, see, I gave him a plug this time. It's usually you.
I plugged him earlier. You missed it.
I know. No, I know, but I'm saying I usually just let you run with the Backroom Mafia thing. I was gracious enough to do it. Although they did say that I denied them a beer, which was not true. You denied them a beer.
I denied them a beer.
Yeah. And we're on Teespring. Grab some Main Event Pod tees and hoodies and sweatshirts and long sleeve tees and tank tops on Teespring. There's usually a link pinned right at the top of our Twitter and our Facebook. Just go there, click on that. You'll find the link and, buy some of our stuff. Support some of our gear at shows. It's nice to look into the crowd and see, hey, that's our shirt. Very cool. We love you guys.
We'll give you the wink. We'll give you the secret handshake.
The secret handshake. Yeah, it ends with a snap. I'll tell you that much so far. And again, if you guys want to give us a call, give us a ring, give us a text, whatever you may, that number is 929-260-3099. Let us know what you think of the podcast. Ask us a question. Whatever you guys want. Talk to us. Say hey. Say just don't call with your problems. We don't want to hear problems. Come on.
I'll listen. Talk about pro wrestling. I'll listen and giggle, but
yeah. And that's about it. That's it, man. Fun show. And I'm really looking forward to this weekend, my man. Looking forward to seeing you in the flesh. It feels like it's been forever.
Big weekend. I got a
big weekend.
Work Friday, then go to the show, and then work Saturday, then go to the show on Sunday.
Yeah.
Busy.
It's the same schedule I'm doing, my man. It's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. Thanks for joining me, man. Thanks for talking Mae Young Classic. It was fun.
If you got some free time on Saturday with your kids, kids and the wife, you want to come pick some apples, I'll be over in Limerick. So
where in Limerick? Give them a plug.
Working on the farm.
Yeah, what farm is this? Give them a plug.
Libby and Son U-Picks over on Sawyer Mountain Road, Limerick, Maine.
Boom.
Blueberries, apples, raspberries, peaches. They'll drive you out into the orchard in a stretch golf cart.
Nice. That's how we do it here in Maine.
It's gorgeous, right in the hills. Nice.
God, nice.
Biggest apples you've ever seen.
Do you have to reach them for people sometimes because you're so tall?
No, there's so many of them that nobody has to reach for them.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds great. Now I'm hungry. Damn it.
I'll be the guy standing out front, burning in the sun.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's sunny.
People think I'm the security guard. I'm really just there to shuttle people back and forth if you need it. But
yeah, and tell kids to get to work.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh shit. All right, man. Well, hey, I'll see you then. I'll see you this weekend. All right. Sounds good.
I'll see you tonight.
I'll see you tonight. That's right. Because the show. Right. All right, man. Listeners, thank you guys so much for listening. Catch you later.
Bye.
Talking about wrestling from the day in the past. It's gonna be a blast. Jonny and Harmon are the Main Event Podcast.